My name is Joseph Illidge, groundbreaking writer and editor.
I'm Aaron Perrine, co-host of Phase Hero.
I'm T. Franklin, a Black, queer, disabled, award-winning, best-selling comic book writer.
This is Preach Jacobs, hip-hop artist and founder of Colacon, the nation's only hip-hop comic convention.
Hey, my name is Carla.
Hi, I'm Ebony.
We talk about health, culture,
and comic books.
I listen to.
And I listen to.
Tune into.
You're tuned into.
And I watch Aurora's podcast. And I watch Aurora Comics podcast.
Aurora Comics podcast.
The Aurora Comics podcast.
Aurora Comics podcast.
You guys should be listening to
the Aurora Comics podcast.
Yes, if you're not, there's something wrong with you. There's really something wrong with you. This is the best podcast. It's like parallel to my podcast. It's right there. They're back and forth.
Yes.
But
Good morning.
good morning.
Nice to meet you finally.
Sauce.
In person.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Okay, so just to make it easy, no caffeine for me.
Okay, bottom shelf.
Bottom
I heard you
shelf.
had a thing for African orange and chamomile.
Yes, I do. Both of those are caffeine free?
Yes.
Okay, I want that. That's what I want.
Okay.
Ooh, you gonna bring it in while I'm doing my interview? I think that'd be so cool because I'm gonna be acting all distinguished. And then I'm gonna be like, okay, thank you. Can you do that for me?
with Mr. David Banner.
Yeah, you can do that for me?
Sure.
High five. All right, let's go. All right, where am I sitting?
I think those hands belong to you.
Oh, wow, that's a gift?
The Incredible Hulk of hip hop.
Yay.
All right, everybody, welcome to Aurora Comics podcast. I'm your girl, Dr. Ebony Toussaint. I'm a research scientist and a registered nurse. I'm also a wife and a mother, and I'm one part of the award-winning Aurora Comics podcast with a fellow wife, mom, and nurse, Carla Madrano, who sends her regards. Today on the pod, I've been covering as the official correspondent for the back matter for the Bitter Root, the Eisner Award-winning, multiple Eisner Award-winning comic book series Bitter Root, and I'm interviewing David Banner here today for Bitter Truths. So, David Banner, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
You are the Incredible Hulk of hip hop. You're David Banner. Please tell us who you are.
I think that I'm just, I think I'm a black man that cares about culture. A man who has been blessed to travel the world. A person who comes from what a lot of people consider the bottom, but it's actually the top. You know, I think Mississippi is little Africa. You know, the same way the Nile River flows through Africa, the Mississippi River flows through America. And just like South Africa is actually considered, you know, the brain trust of Africa. And when Europeans came and you know, created their so-called Age of Enlightenment, they sort of flipped everything and made Europe, you know, the central part of the earth, when in actuality, the perspective of the earth is actually just that, a perspective of where you are at the time. And so, you know, that's the same thing that I believe about Mississippi. And along with Mississippi, you know, South Carolina being the first, you know, so-called slave ports. And regardless of whether we believe that black people are indigenous people from America, that still doesn't mean that those people didn't come here from another place. And so for me, I think that, you know, Mississippi, me being a Mississippian is a core piece and part, an integral part of who I am. And what I always try to do, you know, is make the world a better place, but first for people that look like me. So I'm a servant of the Most High and a collector of exquisite pieces of money. I collect it all. I'm only allergic to one thing, is being broke. Can't do it. You know, so, and more than anything, a creator. You know, I'm a creator. Can I say it the way I want to say it? I'm a creator of dope shit. That's what I do. Just dope.
Create dope shit. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So I do want to ask, because I think this is one of your first nerdy black nerd spaces.
It's not.
Ooh, okay. All right. So I want to bring out more of that nerd. Why the Incredible Hulk? Why David Banner? Other superheroes? You know, I love Blade and Black Knight Lightning that came around during that time, but they didn't have, you know, TV and films yet. But why the Hulk? Why David Banner?
Well, the Hulk was more given to me. If I had to choose my characters, well, first of all, I like to say, you know, people know that I have a vested interest in black liberation and black people. But if you really look at the origin of hero, if my understanding and my studying is correct, it's derived from Heru, which was a black person, you know what I'm saying? A black god. So I don't, you know, as much as I like Black Panther, that's cool, but I don't want to be a cat. I want to be a god. You know, and if you look at Superman as a whole, Superman is biologically and scientifically a lie. There's no way that you can attract the sun and get your power from the sun and you're not darker than the darkest night. Superman is initially a battery. You know what I'm saying? Inherently, a battery. And if he attracts the sun, white people's skin reflects the sun. They're allergic to the sun. How is Superman attracted to the sun and he not darker than Akon? It's not possible. Akon should be Superman. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the reason why I don't pick necessarily black superheroes is because I don't just want to be strong. I want to be a god. I want to be Superman. I want to be Wonder Woman. I want to be the Flash. I want to be I want to be those people. You know what I'm saying? When in actuality, they're just knockoffs of who we are for real in real life. We are people of the sun. We are creators of math and science. So, but if you just ask me the question, I've always been a Spider-Man and Wolverine fan. And I think that's, you know, coming from Mississippi, always being the underdog. Those were the underdog, you know, superheroes who didn't have much, who were still dealing with life problems. You know, Wolverine's a damn drunk, you know what I'm saying? Short drunk at that. You know, no, I'm serious.
No, comic book accurate, yes.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
I know you know.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And for me, the David Banner actually came from, I deal with anger issues. And people don't know it now because I'm a little bit older now. And so I've done a lot of therapy, a lot of meditation. I have to meditate or I hurt somebody. Because I don't bother anybody. And it's so funny, I almost changed my name because the parallels between me and David Banner are so real. That's why you have to watch the names. You know, as descendants of Africans, you got to watch what people call you. Because you got to think about it. People don't know I'm a semester and a thesis away from my master's degree. I had a 3.997 in an accelerated master's program. And I, you know, have wandered all around the earth, just like, you know, nobody knew for the most part that guy that they were looking at walking down the side of the street that was a bum was the #1 gamma ray radiation scientist in the world, you know, David Banner. And so it's the same way with me. People don't know how studied I am. People don't know how large my library is. People don't know how much of a vested interest I have in technology and science fiction and moving our people forward. That's why, you know, when they do give me my props as it pertains to Afrofuturism and, you know, me having a vested interest in that before a lot of black people even knew what it was, even before I knew what it was, you know, sampling and having a love for people like Sun Ra, you know, I think that's who I am. And I think, you know, I think that's why God sent me or put me in Mississippi, is so I could be that superhero. And it's so funny when I look at how they treated even Spider-Man. You remember when Green Goblin told him, just keep being a hero long enough until they turn you into a villain. And as much as I help people in the things that I do, people always try to find a way to control the narrative and push it in another direction. So I'm honored to be able to hold and push that load.
I really love that we have you in this nerdy space, and
I don't think it's nerdy though. Like I don't really like that word because I'm inherently smart. Like I was reading on a junior college level when I was in the second grade. Like I could read novels. When I was in kindergarten, I could count to 1,000,000. I remember they had a counting contest and everybody else was outside playing. I was still counting all day. I counted all day. And I only messed up because I wanted to go play with the other kids. Like I don't like when we put titles on something that you're supposed to be inherently. We are the creators of science and math. I'm not no fucking nerd. I'm a god. God is the creator and the holder of all things. And so when we put those little titles on it like we're something different, it drives it away from kids. Like, you are smart, you are beautiful, you are everything incarnate. Being smart is what I'm supposed to be. Like, I hate that they got these kids thinking that it's okay to not know something. I hate not knowing. My ex-girlfriend told me, she said, I hated arguing with you because you always right. I said, I'm not always right. I just don't open my mouth unless I've researched. So if I say something to you, why are you still arguing with me? I know that I know that I know because I researched it before I had this conversation. I'm not a know-it-all. I just keep my mouth shut until I have the answer. And when I have the answer, I have the answer. You know, so I don't want nobody to call you a nerd. You're a goddess. And in all of that, it encapsulates your beauty. It encapsulates your just God nature. And having knowledge of self and having knowledge in general is just a part of that. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And because them other fools want to be stupid, then let them be idiots. But you're so much more than a geek or a nerd or one of those things. If we made that, if we normalized it, then it wouldn't have to be, some arbitrary word that we've made a way to make it not be cool. You're just who you are. You are a descendant of the Most High, in my opinion.
That's so real. I like.
Hold on one second. I know, but I'm giving all the cameras an opportunity to soak into this beauty, and I just noticed that her camera, you know what I'm saying, it just needed some of this. Enjoy yourself. Okay, go ahead, I'm listening.
I was gonna say thank you.
You was gonna say, I'm married, but you are very handsome, sir. I gotta admit it. Her husband ain't gonna get mad. He know I'm cute too. Don't worry about it. I know. That happened. Enjoy yourself.
I'm a professional.
Well, that's professional. I do look good. Just like I said, you smart. I just look good. That happened.
Thank you. I was gonna say I appreciate the excellent reframe because you're right. How we tell stories matters. And we're supposed to be smart. We're supposed to be excellent. That is the standard. We're supposed to be intelligent. And that's naturally who we are. And so I wish I could go back.
I really like myself. I'm over here cracking up off myself. Like, you a damn fool. Stop it. Let this girl do her interview. All right, go ahead.
I was going to say.
Bitterroot, y'all. Bitterroot.
Cut. No, so I wish I could go back and tell that dirt road Gullah Geechee farm girl that it's okay to love math and science. It's okay to enjoy reading books and not feel like you have to go hide in your room and read books.
But why would you tell her? That's part of our journey. Mm-hmm. The reluctant leader, the reluctant goddess, the reluctant God. That's part of the story. I wouldn't change anything, because if you changed anything, then you wouldn't be who you are. That struggle of finding out that it's the right thing is what makes you cling to it even more. That makes you respect it and fight for others. I really think that God put me in this bully body so I could protect the weak. And it took me being the weak to understand why it's so important for me to protect others. If I went back and told me that, then I wouldn't find as much reverence in being a protector of weak people. Like, your story is your story, and God put you through that. Like, I'm starting to realize now, like, let's say a young lady who was raped, right? Maybe that drove her to be the person that sets up situations, that protect other girls who were raped, or she may be the person that sets up systems to make sure it doesn't happen to any other girl. And we're not happy about that happening, or me being bullied, or the discrimination that I faced in Mississippi is what made me a freedom fighter, So it's like a lot of times we think that God is cursing us by allowing us to go through these things. In actuality, God is putting something on us that we're strong enough to handle. And we hold that sword and we swing that sword for other people so they won't have to go through it. And if it didn't hit us so deeply, then it wouldn't register. And that's what makes you a superhero. That's what makes me a superhero. And as much as we dislike it, that's what made every superhero a superhero. It's that bullshit that they went through. Being able to walk past that precipice and still survive. One of my employees told me one time, he said, if I knew that I was gonna make it, I still wouldn't do it if I had to go through what you went through. But that's what makes me who I am today. And that's what makes you who you are. So you don't need nothing else. She about to bring us some warm tea. Baby, say, baby.
Please,
this ain't no cold drink.
To comfort us in this moment, because he's definitely...
Where you from?
I'm from Seattle.
Seattle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much.
I like Seattle.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah. I saw people mowing the grass in the rain in Seattle.
There's no other time.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
Yeah. Here we go. All right, so have these switched. This one is for you.
So where are we getting this tea from?
So rooibos is a South African tea.
I'm trying to hype up your store.
Oh, just add honey.
Yeah! Where is it? Where am I actually?
We are a store on the Atlanta Beltline, Inman Park, Old Worth Ward, that area. And
Give me the address. The address.
684 John Wesley Dobbs.
Okay.
Unit E.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so
Okay.
much, Ann,
You're
for
welcome.
this wonderful tea selection. Let's see, what do we have here?
Is this tea better when you hold your pinky up?
It does make it feel more.
Okay, I don't have my pimp and pinky ring on today, so I'm just gonna hold it up with beautiful black skin. Blessings to you.
Blessings.
Yeah.
Tasty.
All right, I'm ready. Let's go.
So you talk a lot about Mississippi making you who you are, South Carolina made me who I am. So what do you want people to know about Mississippi, you know, the crossroads of the South? We always see Mississippi at the front of something, the Dobbs decision, you know, reproductive justice, education, literacy, healthcare. I teach a class, History of Health Services in the American South, and Mississippi comes up quite a lot during the Mississippi module. So what do you want us to know about your upbringing? How did that form you into who you are?
Well, the thing that I want more than anything is for us to learn how to love ourselves. You know, every other group of people have such a great reverence. You know, if you look at the blues movement in North Mississippi, all the white people are moving from all over the world to go to something that has always been ours. I lived in Harlem for 6 years, and I watched how people came in and bought Harlem up. And sometimes, you know, we'll sit back and say it's gentrification, they redlined us, all these different things. But when we have it, we seem to not do anything with it. We don't, like, we can, like, if one thing I would say about white folks is that they will build heaven right on top of our hell. So if they have the opportunity to turn our hells into heavens, why can't we turn our own hells into heavens? I tell people all the time, I don't think the story of Jesus was about a man coming down to bear the cross for you. I think the story of Jesus was truly about a man coming down and saying, well, I'm gonna come in your skin, just like you, and I'm gonna show you how to bear your own cross. Do what I do. You remember the story when Jesus was walking on the water and everybody else was walking on the water with him? And then they started doubting, and then they started doing what? Sinking. He showed you, you can walk on water too. Anything you can do, I can do. It's one of the reasons why I love sci-fi so much. I think I have God in me. I close my eyes and I pray because I'm actually praying inward, not outward. And I think once we because I tell people all the time, can I say cracker? You don't look like you were sure. Okay.
My daddy has said it on camera with me, so.
Okay. Well, if you ain't a cracker, you ain't got to worry about being this shouldn't hurt you if you ain't a cracker. Cracker. But seriously, if Southern whites would have won the Civil War, New York would have been in South Carolina and LA would have been in Mississippi. Think about it. So like that inherent power that we have to survive, our grandparents didn't run. Our grandparents endured that pain. You know what I'm saying? So we have that inherent strength. We just don't know how to tap into it. That's why I think science fiction, that's why I created a Banner Vision. You know, I think that's why you all created Bitterroot. It's to show us the superhero inside of us. You know, it's funny. John Jennings is the reason why I'm here. And he was the lead consultant on my superhero series called Walking with Gods. And the name of my character was Aket Heru, aka Alex Light. And guess what his kryptonite was? His doubt. The whole story was about black people finding knowledge of self. And the more that you find out that you God, then you have to change your eating habits. If you know that the black woman is God, she can't be no bitch. You know what I'm saying? Your responsibility on this earth is different once you take the real responsibility of who you inherently are. But I think God loves us so much that if you say you a nigga, bless yourself. If you say you a God, bless yourself. You are what you choose. And I think conventional religion has really stopped black people from tapping into who they inherently are. If you say that because think about how much white people or Europeans have lied, but they believe it so much. They call you lazy and you did all the work. But they said it so much that we believed it. And it was a choice. We chose to say, well, okay, how the fuck are we lazy? We did all the work. Like how does Jesus look like you? And the description in the Bible said that the skin was burnt like copper.
Hair like mine.
Hair like wool. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like Biggie Smalls to me. No, I'm dead serious. You know, so for me, what I want out of Mississippi and South Carolina more than anything is for them to just know who they are. Everybody else on this earth know who we are. They know that we are the original man and woman on this earth. They know that if God says that we're made in his image, then what was the first image on this earth? It was you. So I think that's a lot, but that's just how I feel. And then I was raised in Mississippi. Think about how powerful that is. With my black, beautiful, smart ass.
That's how I feel about South Carolina. I'm Gullah Geechee. I got to be raised by all these matriarchs of the low country and weaving sweetgrass baskets, eating fresh fish, growing our food.
Make sure that they don't stomp your language out. I was told that it's like only one elder that really speaks in the original tongue. I go and speak, or I do something. But for the last 3 years, Regina, for the Gullah Geechee people, like every 3 years.
So you've been to Sapelo, maybe.
Where have I been, Regina? Yeah, you're not helping me. Now I was telling her about how the Gullah Geechee people bring me up every.
Gullah, yeah, I actually reached out to Gullah Music Fest.
Has he been on Sapelo Island? Is that where it is for Juneteenth?
No, they bring us to the college and I speak or do something. When we were supposed to go is when the bad storm happened.
Oh.
When we were supposed to go out.
The hurricane.
Yeah, the hurricane hit and we had to.
It's always a hurricane.
We had to stay at home. Yeah. All right, next question.
You've given me much to think about, so I'm having to pivot and shift.
Don't pivot. Stay down. No. Stay grounded.
I'm loving the just your love for Mississippi is very evident, and I should have assumed as much. But Bitterroot is actually centered around a family of they're fighting monsters, which is an allegory for racism. So the Genu that they're fighting are white people that have succumbed to racism, and you have parts of the family that actually wants to give them an antiviral to help them heal from their racism, and you have other ones that's like, just kill the motherfucker. Oh, excuse me, sorry, family friendly. You can tell what side I'm on. It came out a little bit. Forgot myself for a minute.
See my influence? We got the gangster rapper on the podcast, and we got the nerd cursor. Say that shit, girl. Cuss. South Carolina, cuss.
Oh my gosh, you remind me of my daddy. I can't, the country stopped coming out, but you can tell what side I'm on because I don't know. Antivirals are fickle, even in real life. So I'm a biomedical research scientist and a nurse, and antivirals, we can give you like Tamiflu for influenza, but we do know the best way to prevent the flu and all the morbidity and mortality is by giving you an immunization. But in this case, we don't have an immunization. We can only treat you on the back end. But some people are like, forget trying to heal them with our hoodoo and our magic. Let's just cut them off. Just cut them out. Let's not save anybody. And you do get to a point, if, for those who haven't read the stories, where they do end up saving one of the white people because they hadn't yet turned into a monster. So it's about a family. I want to know about your family. And you mentioned some of the monsters that you've been fighting personally, and you mentioned your dad a little bit. So tell me more about your family.
I went back and did some research because I wanted to know where did this warrior come from in me? Like, it wasn't in my immediate family. And I heard that my great-grandfather wasn't a revolutionary. He just didn't take no stuff off of nobody. And that's funny. That's something that I believe even about the most racist white person is that they respect men who stand like men. They may not agree with you, but like, you know, just this young lady asked me one time, she's like, David, like, how does it feel? Like, I mean, I'm gonna be very open with you. I just got a death threat 3 days ago. And it's like, I sort of look at it like if they're not banning me off of Instagram or Facebook, then I'm not talking the real stuff. If I'm not threatened by if the white racist people in this planet or on this planet are not threatened by the things that I say and do, then I'm not working hard enough. I used to always wonder why it's so hard for me. It's so hard for me because I stand for something. It's so hard for us because we remind them of how close we are of God. We are God's spoiled children. And a lot of times they look at us like, why is it so easy for them? Why do they have sunlight all the time? You know, why do they have food all the time? Why is it warm everywhere they live? Why are they so beautiful? Why doesn't their skin chap? Like they know that the closest thing you can get to God in the physical form is the sun, and their skin soaks up the sun. You got to think about it, in most cases, black people trying to straighten their hair, white people trying to curl theirs. You know, they talk about our big lips and big asses, but they always shooting something up in theirs to try to get like us, and we trying to get like them. Think about this, man. Like, we come from hot situations, and now we look at black folks in the South. What are they? Up in the house under air condition, you know, with the lights off. It's almost like we trying to go to caves. That's what they came out of, cold climates and caves, and they trying to stay outside, getting a tan, to be dark, tall, and handsome. So like for me, I look at it, you know, as far as family is concerned, I went back and found that my great-grandfather, he just didn't take no stuff off of nobody. And I don't know what it is about me. Every time I get close to having the fame that I know that I deserve, the money and the accolades that I deserve, I always take my power and use it for the good of defending black people. But I have noticed that black people don't defend me the way that I defend them.
We love you, David Banner.
You know, you can't say we, because watch this. I asked a person one time, am I the antithesis of Donald Trump? And they said, yeah. I said, why don't I have as much money as Donald Trump? White folks give him all their money. They ain't giving, black folks ain't giving me theirs. People say they want to give me my flowers. I don't want flowers. I want the same thing you give white people. Give me your attention and your money. Nothing else means anything on this planet to me. So if you really love me, then invest what you really love, because that's not love. Think about the leaders in the black community. Look at Martin's family and Malcolm's family, as much as they did for black people. Conventional movements in America are based on Marcus Garvey, and most black people don't know who Marcus Garvey is. So why would I want to be a black leader in the black community and get love? Black love don't mean shit. It doesn't translate into anything but words. I don't want that. If that's the case, I don't want my family to suffer because I love groups of people who didn't love themselves. That's the one thing that I want out of all of this. That's all I ever tried to do. I never wanted a tattoo. I put Mississippi on my back to let black people know that even if I turn my back on my people, it still reads Mississippi. Even if I turn my back. That's what my tattoo means. If I turn my back on my people, still says Mississippi. So for me, it's very important for us to stop talking about liberation and living liberation. If this is going to be what liberation looks like in the form of a comic book, then even if you don't like Bitterroot, everybody need a copy of it. I was in the. I just went and saw what's the comic book movie about the second-rate superheroes?
Thunderbolts?
Yes, I just went and watched Thunderbolt. Right. So I'm in the elevator, and it's 8 people in there. Right. 2 of them white. I did this on purpose. Yo, how many of y'all? How many of y'all just watched the Ryan Coogler movie? Like, it's dope. How many of y'all looked at Sinners? Every black person in there said, we haven't saw it yet. Oh, but you up here to see these white movies and you ain't saw Sinners as well as Ryan is doing? As hard as he fighting for quality movies? Ain't nothing. Like, I'm the type of person, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, even if I don't like the movie, I go buy the black ticket and sneak in the white movie. We did it in high school, I do it now. I'm dead serious. I go buy 12 Sinners tickets and go watch a Marvel movie.
Please tell me you've seen Sinners, though.
Oh, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, of course I have.
It's beautiful. Mississippi, I mean, hoodoo, health, horror, all things I love. All things John Jennings loves.
Well.
We're in Scary Black Folk. We have a collective.
I just say I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but that's not even what I liked. We finally got redemption. Black people don't even let us ourselves win in our own dreams. Think about it. Most movies that are created, written by black people, produced by black people, we lose in our own fucking movies. I'm gonna win in the Banner Vision world every time. I'm getting the girl, I'm having the sex, black people winning every time. We don't even win in our own comic books.
This is why I gotta go back to who raised you, the man that we have in front of us. Who is responsible, in part?
Zeno Crump, Carolyn Crump, but I think the biggest difference for me was hip hop, to be honest with you. I was raised when hip hop was saying something and doing something. Like, think about this. I stopped eating pork in the 11th grade in Mississippi because of Brand Nubian, because of Derek X, who became Sadat X. I got into jazz and found out about Sun Ra because I was sampling jazz records, because that was the time when hip hop was doing all jazz. That's how I found out about Sun Ra. So like, I think the thing is that, and I tried to give kids that on the first Mississippi the album, I tried to vicariously take them, you know, through my album. And I think that's why my album sold in Chicago like it did. For the people who were scared to come home or always heard that it was racist and they would die by the Ku Klux Klan. I ain't never seen no Ku Klux Klan in the road with no burning cross. Well, I've been in Mississippi. I haven't. And Negro is pretty powerful in central Mississippi. We don't play that shit.
It's the blackest state.
Yeah. But, you know, I think it was a combination of having a very strong father, a very caring mother, and then hip hop to really reprogram my brain. And I bumped into From the Browder Files from Anthony Browder. It was the first book that I ever read. I stole that book, read it, coming back from Chicago on a train, and the Malcolm X's book.
Autobiography
Of Malcolm X, exactly.
So you mentioned a lot of reading, and you mentioned a lot of the work that you're doing in community. I know you mentioned time and money is important, but also I believe community is important. I'm Gullah Geechee, so I grew up very much in community in Mississippi, and we talk about this Mississippi, South Carolina. We have a lot in common. So in terms of community, you have the Heal the Hood. How does that manifest in the work that you do? Like, what do you view as your most important work and contribution? How do you want us to remember you?
You don't want to know the truth.
I do. That's why I'm here with you.
And I think it's making money. It used to be all of that.
That's real.
Like, I think it's about making money, because I look at Malcolm and Martin and all of the people that we just talked about, you know, John Henrik Clarke. You know, I look at all of these people, man, and I'm not saying that they were better men or our female leaders, they were not better women. But what I will say is that they were great people and they couldn't turn the tide. So we have to do something different. And I think, you know, a wise man said once, you can't lead the people unless you can feed the people. So I really think, you know, instead of begging white people to do right or for America to do right, I think this is the best time in history for us to just create it for ourselves. We don't have to beg anybody else. We can put out our stuff ourselves. But the thing is that we have to get black people to the point where they want it. Because I could spend all this money making sci-fi movies if black people don't put their asses in the seat, or we don't find a way to market to them in a way where they see that it's important, then they're gonna do us like everybody else, sit us over in the corner and it's like roaches in the corner. You know, that's why marketing is so important to me. That's why, you know, it being dope, it being fly, being connected to what people can digest now. You know, that's why people like T.I. is so important to me. You know, Tip said one time, I am all of that. I'm the ex-hustler, I'm the father, I'm the freedom fighter, I'm the hustler, I'm all that. We're not a monolith, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So for me, I think it was that rearing in Mississippi. You know, my dad was a real military type. My mom was so loving. You know, and I think if I would have just had my dad, I would have been a maniac and a bully. If I'd have had my mother, I would have been soft. If I would have just had hip hop, I would have just been a dreamer. So I think God put that Trinity in me, or put that Trinity around me, so I would have the opportunity to be exactly what I needed for hip hop. And I'm so grateful to God. You know, I used to be upset because I know I'm one of the most talented people that walk this earth. Now I always wonder why, if I did all the right things and that people said I was supposed to do, why isn't it working out? And I want y'all to think about this. If black people knew how to treat us, right? Then 9 times out of 10, who else would they know how to treat? Themselves. But if they knew how to treat themselves, then they wouldn't need us. They wouldn't need Bitterroot. So the fact that they don't even know that they need us shows why we have to work harder. That shows why I gotta just be able to feed my people. Not just talk about the fact that our food is poisoned. I gotta go and buy land. But the things that I have to do in order to get that money, it's so crazy. I don't know why it is in black culture this way. Black people want you to be liberated. They want you to be strong, but you don't count unless you're successful in the eyes of white people. Think about it.
The white gaze.
If you don't have the stuff that white people have, if you're not in the white movies, if you're not doing all of that, but then they want you to turn around and spit in the face of the system that is putting you on because you're not supporting me. I always say, if I had you, I wouldn't need them. It's an oxymoron that keeps me up at night all the time. Because I don't get my money from my folks. I get support, I get love, I get pats on the back.
I feel that more than you know. My lab is unplugged.
I see you. You over there like, talk that shit, I can't say it. Go, brother, go. Let me drink this tea. She wants to say shit, y'all. She can't, so I just said it for her. It's all right, but we here. And listen, the great thing about life and God is that we're being drawn to each other. Like, that's why I love this time in history. This is the best time. Yeah. People used to think we were crazy. You know that. People thought we were crazy. I just got up and said, go watch my Drink Champs interview. I just said it. Y'all used to say I was crazy. Now that all this crazy stuff is happening, now y'all looking for Mr. Crazy. But I could have been broken. Like, the thing about, I tell people this all the time, and I'm not a therapist, but sometimes what we read as depression, it's not depression, it's us breaking the programming. We've been programmed, we're breaking out of the matrix, and you gotta think, most of the stuff that we have been taught in America is a lie. I'm talking about it's a straight up lie. It's not true at all. And so as, and you think about it, from a religious standpoint, they tell us, if we don't believe in what they believe in, you're going to hell. And not only going to hell, you're going to burn forever. That's why I say I wouldn't listen to David Banner either. If I had to pick between David Banner and not burning in hell, I don't think there's a devil. I think we the devil. And I think they teach black people that there's a devil so you'll never correct yourself. You'll always put it on something outside of you. You the demon. You the problem. You are your problem. In Walking with God, people gonna think it's the white man who's actually the lead antagonist. But at the end, I probably shouldn't tell people this, but at the end of Walking with God, when dude pulls off his mask, it's actually gonna be me.
That's a self-doubt.
I'm fighting against me. Not just self-doubt. Like, if you knew you shouldn't have screwed with that girl, you pulled it out. Devil didn't make you pull it out. You pull it out and put that thing in her. Don't put it on the devil. You see, I said that for you. I knew you was going to. You didn't done that before. I knew I shouldn't have did it. And you going to put it on the devil. Stop it. You did it. Little horny devil, you.
The tea is hot.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I love
Let's
it,
get
David.
to it.
I
Let's
love
get
you.
to it. Let's get to it. I'm ready.
Oh my gosh. So that made me forget my question. Putting things in places and whatnot.
And premises, you ain't got no business putting them. I told you.
So we've learned a lot about where you've been and who you are. So
the dark places I've had an opportunity to fly to. Yeah. Explore. Yes, sir. Thank you. Go ahead.
So where are you going? You mentioned your comic book with John Jennings that we can expect. What other projects and things can we look forward to from you, and where can we find you?
A banner vision. I just want to make dope movies. I want, that was one of the things that I was going to say about Sinners that I liked about it, was that we had a redemption. We usually don't ever win in our own stories. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's one of the things I try to do in all my films is, what are we going to be able to see? I think that some black people are afraid of freedom like they're afraid of death. Death may be better. We just don't want to go find out. But death may be better. So that's what sci-fi is to me. It's painting a picture for black people. And it may not be an accurate depiction or picture, but at least we give them something to hope towards. So it won't be so hard to take that jump. I think most black people are really afraid of freedom because we don't know what it looked like. A lot of black men scared they can't date their little white girl if they are liberated. I know you're scared. But for me, I just want to show people what freedom looks like. John Henry Clark said one of the major steps to being free is just acting like you're free. That's why it's important for me to live. It's important for me not to die violently. Most people who move like I move, they die violently. So kids are scared to be a king because they saw what you let them do to the other one. Why would somebody want to be like Martin Luther King? You let them kill Martin Luther King. Why would you want to be like Malcolm X? They killed Malcolm X. If you ask a third grade black child what happens to a black man when he stand up, I bet you 90% of them say died. So let's show some success. One of the reasons why I'm so damn sexy is not because I was born this way, but because literally I want to make freedom fighting look good. I want it to be sexy. I want women to be like, ooh, I like a man that's smart, a man that takes care of himself, that eats right. I'm, pushing towards a raw vegan diet right now, just for a certain amount of time till I can get off high blood pressure pills. I want to be able to be one of the men that can talk freely about that. I fasted from sex for 7 months. No, nothing, including lotion. And I'm man enough to say that I did that. Most men would be embarrassed of that. So just having the freedom to be free, to be able to stand for something that's right, and to be an example of that and be able to live a successful life. One little girl said this for real, and I thought it was dope. She said, I saw David Banner in a Ferrari. If that's what freedom fighting bring, then let me listen to what he talking about. And most people who are freedom fighters are usually on crack or hurting or broke or living in a rundown house. I wouldn't want to be a part of something that doesn't show me something that's successful, you know? And so for me, I just want to show success. I want to show what freedom looks like. I want what's best for black people. And I'll tell you this, and I bet you John would be surprised about this. I don't hate no more. Even the people on this earth that deserve hate, like there's only a finite amount of energy on this earth. You can't make any more energy. So why give energy to hate? You know, I look at this structure that we fight against. They're snakes. They just are. And I know what they are. And if I go over there and play with that rattlesnake, I'm gonna get bit in the face, right? So why do we keep going over there if you know what it is? I spoke at this event that was mainly based on women's reproductive rights, right? And I scared a lot of people because I said, look, let me be honest with black women. They don't want you on earth. So why you keep going there and taking your babies over there? They don't want black babies on this earth. Let's be real. If we really want to talk about the reproductive systems of black women, you have to first understand they don't want you having little, especially black boys, and they don't want you to have black girls because black girls are the portal for black boys and black anything. So until you be honest with yourself, you walk around talk about liberation, but you don't want to really talk about the problem. They don't want you on this earth. So let's be real. And that also translates to religion. Why would a person give you a key to heaven when they don't want your black ass on earth? It don't make sense. So for me, it is our responsibility to create a world. And I think this is one of the first steps. White people in marketing, they always, before they went to war with anybody, they would make a comic book. Go look at them old Popeye cartoons, them old Bugs Bunny cartoons. Them were some of the most racist things you'll ever see on this earth. Because they were preparing our children or their children, preparing our children to hate ourselves and preparing their children to hate us. And I'm so thankful to God that I am one of the few black men, and I think it's because of my relationship and being raised by mostly black women, I can articulate myself. That hurts a lot of women that I date because you just can't talk to me any kind of way. I can articulate the way that I feel very well. If I love you, I love you. If I hate you, I don't give a flying fuck. I don't. So to answer your question directly, which I forgot what it was, but I'm gonna continue on. It's just important for us to be able to know who we are. And I am so proud, you know, of you and John, because they beat the kid out of us. I saw how your eyes lit up when you talked about comic books. I saw how your eyes lit up when you knew that I knew what the fuck I was talking about when it came to comic book heroes. I am a big kid, but I can't show the world that because I have to hurt somebody. Pimp C from UGK taught me that. You can't show people your child. Because most people, even black people, they won't protect the little girl in you. That's where pimping come from. They take your child away from you and they control you through your insecurities. That's what America, that's what colonization has done. They pimp us for our insecurities. So that's the reason why it's important for us to show ourselves as gods and goddesses. I hope I answered the question.
You did. You told us where you're going. But I lied. I have one more question that I want to ask because you are well read, clearly. So what are you reading? Or what are your favorite books that you've read? It doesn't have to be a comic book.
I have a whole list. Y'all can go on my y'all can just Google David Banner's reading list, and I have the 10 most important books to me. But I will always say, I have to always say From the Broader Files, because that was the book that introduced me to consciousness. After that, I have to say, you know, of course, Malcolm X's book, Marcus Garvey, what is his Message to Black People, I think is the name of the book. Think and Grow Rich is very important to me. The Game of Life and How to Play It changed my whole entire life. That book, and it's crazy, it was written by a white woman in like the 1920s, I think 1919. But like if you take out all of that and just read it for what it is, because science and knowledge of self is knowledge of self, and I mean it just is, and they usually got it from us anyway. We just have to find our way through it. Black Skin, White Mask is a very important book to me. I read a lot though. I have a very large library.
Now I need to see this library,
Yeah,
but that'll be another trip.
It's dope. It's dope.
So fun questions before you tell us where we can find you.
Mm-hmm.
Cornbread or biscuits?
Biscuits.
Rice or grits?
Grits.
Mississippi or South Carolina?
Mississippi.
Harlem Renaissance or Civil Rights Movement?
Harlem Renaissance.
Hip hop or jazz?
Hip hop. Oh, those are easy questions.
Really?
Because I'm all of that. You gonna ask me what's my favorite state? I got Mississippi tattooed on my back. Come on.
I was trying to slip them
Hip hop
out,
or jazz? I do hip hop. Come on. Like all of those, you gotta come up with some harder questions.
Trying to
for
trip
me.
you up. They're
You
just
can't. Not with those questions. That was super easy.